We just got sight of the legislation, I suppose, 10 minutes ago. We're due to resume in the Dáil shortly. Certainly a lot of people around the Dáil this evening are saying that they have flashbacks and echoes to 2008 and the night of the banking guarantee. I mean, there's no doubt that you know, rushed.
No citizens in Ireland agree with this. It's legalised.
Sinn Féin supporters there are helping a rally, I suppose. Is that what's happening, Mary Lou? Come on, we'll stay with Mary Lou. We don't mind if people interrupt. People do it all the time on the programme. Can we go back to Mary Lou? No, we can't go back to Mary Lou. We'll hopefully get to her in a moment.
A valid concern here is that we've been talking about that. We've been talking that the legislation has been prepared before in advance. Yes?
Oh, Mary Lou is there. Mary Lou, sorry, I assume that one of your supporters interrupted you there, giving you a helping hand.
I know, it's lively here around the Dáil, Vincent. In any event, we're studying the legislation. People will know our position as regards the payment of the promissory note and this. The citizen standing near me shares that view, obviously. What we want to see is not just a winding up of a toxic financial institution. There has to be a genuine winding up of the debt. And from what we've seen so far, and I want to stress that we don't have all of the detail, it seems that this could be another sort of five-card trick to give the impression of resolving a debt issue, but which in fact might transform a promissory note, an IOU, into a government bond, and actually mean that we bequeath to the next generation's debt, which was never the Irish people's debt, never the taxpayers' debt, but was the result of cowboyism and gangsterism within Anglo-Irish Bank.
You said that the legislation had been made available to you a few minutes ago. Did you get any sense from anybody what the legislation contained?
Well, the legislation, in its stated aim, is to not just allow for the wind up of the of Anglo-Irish Bank, but to allow for the transfer of assets to NAMA and for a transfer of assets or debts to the central bank. So that seems to be the broad shape of what's being considered. It confers various powers on the minister. The big imponderable, Vincent, and what we don't know is if the government is minded to transform the promissory note into a government bond, what form that will take, what would its duration be, what the interest rates would be. But let me just say this, one thing that we are absolutely certain of, and probably the only thing we're certain of at this point, is that the government never sought a straight write-down of this debt. If they were winding down Anglo with the view to calling time on the payment of the promissory note for now and forever, that would be one proposition, but that's not what they have in mind this evening.
It's interesting that you say that the legislation, as you understand it, is giving more powers to the Minister for Finance. It should be recalled that when the bank guarantee was going through the Dáil, the legislation backing the guarantee going through the Dáil, the Labour Party voted against, not on the principle of a guarantee, but on the principle that the legislation gave too much power to the Minister for Finance. So it'd be curious if this legislation gives a lot of power to the Minister for Finance.
That's right, Vincent, but as I say, I'm going to return to the Dáil now because the debate will start. It's an absolutely farcical situation for the people and for the elected representatives of this state that we've legislation bounced on us at the 11th hour. As I've indicated to you, I've simply scanned the legislation. I haven't read the fine print of it. This is not the way to do business. This is not the way to deal with an issue as serious as this promissory note and the level of debt which the people have shouldered.
Okay, thank you, Mary Lou. Maybe we'll talk to you later on.